The tree has 6 parts, so let's review each one of the parts. The sense of hearing, or the root system, addresses your sense of hearing. The therapies that are offered at this level are called auditory integration training programs. And what they do is repattern how the acoustic reflex muscle in the middle ear responds to sound and the reception of sound at the cochlea. The therapies are modeled after the work of Dr. Guy Berard, and the changes are evidenced as a result of better sound reception. The seed of the tree is our body rhythms area, and it is the foundation for all sound response in the body, as it addresses our very basic or basal body rhythms, such as your heartbeat or your breath stream. The therapies at this level of the tree can be utilized at any time in the person's protocol of sound therapies, because these skills bring the person back into focus and keep them feeling positive at their core level. The therapies introduce rhythmical patterns to which the body responds both physically and emotionally. The trunk of the tree entails general sound processing connections. It addresses the responses for the ear for all kind of general sound stimulation. And it is not hearing at this level. The programs are called listening training programs and are modeled after the work of Dr. Alfred Tomatis, who established the Tomatis method. The changes evidenced are the result of the vibrational stimulation through the parts of the ear, such as the cochlea, the semicircular canals, the vestibule, as well as our bones, our circulatory system, the nervous system, soft tissue network, and our cell structure. The lower leaves and branches are going to address specific auditory processing skills, such as memory, sequencing, discrimination. Those skills are inherent in how the brain receives information from the auditory pathway to the brain, specifically from the cochlea to the reception centers of the brain. There are numerous sound-based therapies that address these skills, either in a specific skill area such as temporal sequencing or with general overall processing skills. The 5th area of the tree are the upper leaves and branches, and will address the academic skill areas such as the reading, spelling, handwriting. They can only maximally be achieved when the foundation of the tree is in place, so that people can have these skills as splinter skills, but not always process them in their entirety. The programs suggested at this level must include an auditory, visual, and language combination of instructional skills, thereby allowing for full integration of the foundational skills. The last and the 6th part of the tree includes overall body stability and maintenance, because this area is the one where wellness or body support for maintaining the learning and developmental changes are obtained. We use the various therapies to help obtain the earlier parts, and this part is the head surrounding the tree, which will reflect the combination of the voice, the ear, and the brain to support each other for the learning and developmental changes. Currently, the voice identifies the body's imbalances, and then the ear sends the correcting frequency to the brain so that the body can make the foundational changes. There are many available therapies. I am credentialed in 20 different sound-based therapies currently, and so when you apply all those 20 therapies to this tree analogy, you'll have them, for example, at the root system. They're called auditory integration training, but you will find things like Berard auditory integration training, or FST, or DAA. At the trunk level, we call them listening training programs, and we utilize here programs like the Tomatis method or N-Listen. The leaves and branches, there are many different very good foundational skill therapies like fast forward or interactive metronome. Then we have the head of the tree for system maintenance. We use the science behind it called bioacoustics. The Davis model of sound intervention is going to use the power of the voice-ear-brain connection to make positive change in learning, development, and wellness with very specific sound-based therapies. Our bodies are going to be searching for stability between external sound sources and our internal body vibrations to create balance. We will react physically and psychologically, and sometimes the body cannot make the change by itself, so it might need a sound-based therapy to accomplish that change. So for us, what becomes important are, yes, the voice-ear-brain connection, the cell's response to sound, and our diagnostic evaluation for therapy protocol. This test is used to identify if, when, how long, and in what order any or all of the many different sound-based therapies can be appropriately applied. But according to the Davis model of sound intervention, once the determination is made, then the correct sound-based therapies are introduced in the correct order. Because this diagnostic test battery provides solutions for understanding the complexities of the sound-based therapies. Again, it's not the disability that we are helping, because sound-based therapies, as defined by the Tree of Sound Enhancement Therapies direction, will address the challenges of learning, development, and wellness. It is not the specific therapy that will make the most change. All sound-based therapies can make change, but it is the correct administration of those therapies that will maximize the energy response of the body to enhance the body's natural form and function. So let me just review a few very important words. Hearing, simply the reception of sound. Listening involves the brain and a mental process to really tune into the sound. Perception is when the brain receives and uses the sound. And then we have the voice, which will reflect the energy of how the body hears, listens, and perceives sound. All very important words, because it is not just the incoming sound that we receive by hearing or listening that is important. It is how our entire body's response to sound, both the reception and expression of sound, that helps keep us whole. Our body is an orchestra comprised of many different instruments. And as long as the instruments are in tune, our body is in tune. How can we determine if that's going to be able to keep our body in tune? Well, we use the voice, because the voice reflects what your ear and brain receive and perceive. That voice and ear combination is important. Your voice is your most obvious and readily available frequency source for obtaining information for the body. The voice is your sound source, the ear is the receiver, and together they make a very good dynamic system. The ear establishes the foundation for those energy patterns, and the voice displays those patterns. So, very importantly, all sound-based therapies are not the same. Although any sound therapy can make a change, it is the correct order of the administration of those sound-based therapies that make the greatest impact. The order is identified from testing. So, the Davis Center offers a new paradigm for learning, development, and wellness. We combine the voice-ear-brain connection. We use the scientific biological principles of our body's cell structure, and we use sound therapies administered in the correct order to make positive change in learning, development, and wellness.